My sisters, tap into thy God self. Tap into your God self and stop playing and know the true goddess that you are. I mean this, and this goes out to my significant other, you know, sisters all over the world. I want to call down some protection from that great, great divine, that higher supreme being, that real God, not that false God. We're going to draw down that true strength for our goddesses, wherever you are, in wherever part of the world you're in. I'm calling down that protection for our sisters, for themselves and from themselves. We have to call down protection from, ourselves, but this is for our sisters, so we don't become our own worst enemy, work out those things within ourselves, and then we can work our way out to the physical, always going to come down to the mind, body, and soul, and just about everything, just depends on who we are, and as far as sisters go, because this podcast is all about knowing your God self, my sisters. And I also want to call down protection on my mom and my grandmother. May she rest in peace and in power. Call down protection on my aunties, my cousins, sisters that's in the family, and friends of the family, and the single sisters out there, May that great divine stay in your life and protect you and your children, as well as my significant other. We're together, but we don't live together. And, I just call down that protection from that great divine, that divine spirit protects her against herself and surround those children with protection, as well as my sons, But again, this podcast is about the goddesses that started it all, and we've heard this from many teachers, so it's nothing nobody knows, The sister can be the most beautiful thing in the world, and I'm talking about inside and out. But to know this, that to see the goddess in a sister, I'm talking about that deep within, that when they vibrate, when it doesn't matter what they look like, and what I got on my banner here is a representation of all sisters that are or can be that goddess, that you all strive for, be that goddess, know that you are way more powerful and above anything superficial, you create life, think about that. You create life. Nothing can hold a candle to you. You are almost next to God, because God create life and many things, many more, much more and beyond, but gave you the gift of life. And it's not a coincidence, why our sisters, get betrayed in certain ways, of course, so you won't see that goddess within. And many great brothers talk about this, those that really truly understand our sisters, but we want you to understand, because when you see it, it's beautiful. Then you can see how beautiful you are, because when you know you have that goddess within, it'll just vibrate on the outside without even trying. You will be shining. And when we connect, like me and my significant other, we've been through some things, ups and downs, I'll probably put it in the end screen in the podcast, you got to go through that thick to get to the thin. And it's wonderful. It takes time, like I said, it takes going through things to understand our sisters. And it's kind of heartbreaking when you can kind of see something in a sister that sometimes they don't see in themselves. But it's our job as black men. I'm not trying to stand here like I'm a saint and I'm perfect. I'm just, what I've learned, we have to be there for our sisters as much as we can, and really truly understand how their mind works, how their body works, and, how they deal with different things, and also have a little studying of what they've been through, because we've all been through some kind of conditioning. You hear me say that from time to time, time again and again, excuse me. And that's brothers or sisters. We all have been through some kind of conditioning because of this system. So that's a given. And I always say that's where we start. And that's where we will begin to understand our sisters. And I'm talking about our young sisters too, because I have daughters. And when you have daughters, that helps to understand too, because we all know this life doesn't come with a manual. You have to learn on the job, so to speak, but you have to be willing to learn. You have to have that gift of comprehension. That's something I'm learning on this walk, and I just truly am thankful for the things that I have learned with experiences with sisters along the way, and not always just relationships, even just friends. It's nice to even have a sister that's just a friend. But right now, my significant other is my friend. That's what we have to focus on. We can, our significant other, it depends on how we are as a brother. Now, again, I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect and I'm this, relationship guidance counselor, nothing like that. I'm just things I have learned, when you get up in age, supposedly, you learn things, certain things you don't do anymore, and you begin to listen, and that's one of the things that can help to understand a lot of our sisters when we just listen. I talked to my significant other last night, my cocoa butter. I talked to her last night. She's been through a lot, so that's why I listen. We, like when I talk to her, if it's something I want her to know, I want her to listen, so I have to in turn do the same thing. And by doing that, by me listening to what she has to say sometimes, and just let her get it out, and let her relieve some of that tension, so it don't go somewhere else, because I'm a big boy. I can take it. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I've been through many storms as well as many of us, and at Great Divine take us through certain things so it can develop that strength in us. It can develop that empathic ability and that understanding down the road, because it helps. It really does help. But you have to be willing to listen, and help develop that goddess within our sisters that all of them have, and again, I call that protection over the single sisters out there that's been through it, that's got multiple kids. That Great Divine is going to bless you, whether you think you see it or not. That great blessing will come. So God bless the child that's got his own, that real God that got his own, and that's trying and is of a right heart. We're going to make mistakes along the way, but keep that good heart, that goddess within, my sisters. Like I say, when I talk to my cocoa butter, I listen, and I truly thank her for the things that I have learned, that sometimes we just don't pay attention to in this life. But if we listen and open up that pineal gland, we're like, oh, wow, this is why this individual act like this, or that's why you always hear me say, be analytical. You can, things that we think are major or bad, if we sometimes, I say this a lot, but sometimes just take a moment and think about it. Sometimes things are not as bad as we make them out to be in our mind. That's why we have to step back from situations and really figure things out. And you be like, oh man, that's okay. And play out those scenarios, I always say. It just keeps you away from a lot of crap and getting to the core of things, and and not just going off what you got to see, why a person says what they say or do what they do. Break things down, then make a determination if you need to stop talking to that person or something like that. Just an example, just speaking hypothetically. And but doing things like that, that's showing that you care. And just, I'm telling you, when a person knows that you have that love, that's, I know it sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, that's the ties that bind. When you have that real love within, I've learned this. You got to have that true love overall, through the mistakes and the fumbles of the human body and all that stuff. If you got love at the base, everything will always end up being all right. You just got to keep that divine love in there. And this is for my sisters. Man, if you only knew how beautiful that you really can be within and out. And I was talking to my cocoa butter last night, and a lot of things that she was talking about she wanted to do in life that she missed out on a lot of opportunities, and because some of the choices she made and stuff like that. But I told her it's not too late. Something might still come along, and she have kids and stuff, and haven't been able to work, like, because she used to work a lot, and always going places and doing stuff. And when you have kids, it kind of keeps you sitting still. You have grandkids and stuff like that. And and that's when we come in, brothers. And we can't get wrapped up in, we gotta listen. I know sometimes we have our sisters can talk, but that's how we let it get up out of them. Like me speaking on these podcasts. We have to talk and get things up out of us. We can't let things lay dormant. We have to get it out. Even if she hasn't, reached that goal she wants to reach, let her talk about it. She has to get it out. It'll make her feel better. She has to have someone to talk to. So why not the brother that she's with? So and she just talking about some things she wanted to do, and I told her it's not late. It's not too late. Another opportunity may come along, and I agree with her. Of course it'd be nice if she can get out and do some things, because it's good. It's good to have solitude, and everybody loves their home, but you got to get out. You do got to get out the house sometimes. You got to get out on an adventure. Even I know that, and I love sitting in the house, but even I know you have to venture out and do different things. You can't just be staying in one spot. You have to. That's how you maneuver. That's how you learn stuff, and you come across amazing things when you're willing to try new things. So I totally understand where she was coming from, and it's beautiful when we're able to listen. And because there's times when I want to talk, and I want people to listen to me, so I have to in turn do the same thing. And that's the same thing if I'm conversing with a brother. But right now, we're talking about our sisters. And I want all sisters all over the world, wherever you are, young or old, please know your true God self. Know how beautiful you can be. Know how beautiful you are. You create life. Think about that. You create life. Everything began with a sister. And it don't matter what you look like, because brothers out here with a heightened self-awareness, even if you fine and drop dead gorgeous, as I've said in the past, we'll be able to see right through if you're true to the pit of your soul. That's what a brother, because it makes us want to be better. If we are pretty much a decent brother and we cool. When we have a vibrant sister by our side, that has our back, don't have no fake intentions and love us. As long as we a good brother, though, we gotta be a good brother. We know we true, and we have a good track record of treating our sisters good. And the woman knows this and stand by our side, man. Brothers, brothers like me and other brothers, we'll go through the fire for that sister, because it's beautiful when we truly connect within now, and then work our way out to the physical. And when both parties love each other so heartily, that's what'll help create and keep and maintain that goddess within, my sisters. When we just don't be fake and just talk about things, don't hide nothing, don't be sneaky, and conquer this world. Because remember, this world, this spiritual connection that some of us have with our sisters, those who are married and have a significant other, man, it can become, it's bigger than us. That we have to connect. We have to connect to survive in this world. Whether we think it or not, brothers, and it's just my opinion, we need our sisters, and our sisters need us, but we need our sisters. They are the foundation and the root of the whole world. They're the seed of it all. Everything began with a sister. That's an unfutable fact, if that make any sense. It's unrefutable, if I said that right. It's a fact. So again, I'll say, my sisters, man, do everything you can to stay intact with your God self within. Know that you are a true goddess. And when I say sisters can be so beautiful, I really, truly, truly mean it from the pit of the soul. And like I said, me having daughters and, and giving, young sisters advice and stuff like that, and, being around my spiritual daughters, because like I said, I got biological daughters and I got spiritual daughters and I got spiritual sons. And, even my young sons, I learned stuff from them. You know what I mean? And I want to teach them to see the beauty in a sister, and know, we don't know what our sons, the kind of women they're going to like as they get older and start liking girls and stuff. But I want them to know the culture of our sisters and know that all sisters aren't what sometimes the media can make them look like. I want them to know that there is beauty in a sister, whatever girls because we can't control what kind of women our girls like, women our sons like, excuse me. But I still want them to know their history of our sisters and know the beauty and know that they're not all what like I said, the media makes them out to be. They're not all like that. A lot of them were swayed and became like that because of the system. But those of us that are truly aware from the pit of the soul, we know the beauty in the sisters. We know why some sisters do what they do, because I have to say, we all been through something. So that's where we always start. It's just the upbringing, things we've been through, the system, and a way of thinking and how we came up through our families, all those little different things that play a part in who we are as an individual. That's brother or sister, but I'm talking about sisters right now, and for my brothers, let's just thank that great divine. Those that do now, thank that great divine that we understand our sisters, our young sisters, our elders, our middle-aged sisters. Be thankful that we understand. We even understand our goddesses that don't even understand themselves. That's what a great divine put a lot of the good-hearted brothers out here, those that's reaching and teaching, whether in the world or online in our families, because there are good brothers out there. That's what that great divine put us here for, to bring that goddess out of our sisters. And man, and be like a mirror to them and just show them how powerful and beautiful they are and can be. Every sister has potential. They just got to tap into that God self. That's all they do. That's all they got to do. Once they tap into that God self, it ain't no looking back. No toxic man or system or no person, place, or thing would ever be able to stop them, break them. But you got to tap into that God self. You got to take it serious, Study things, read up on things about that God self, that inner self, because it's always going to come down to that. I know we hear this a million times, but those that have been there, we know, it takes practice. It takes time, it depends on who we are as an individual, but it takes time, to get to know thyself. And this is just my own thing. The longer we have been under some type of conditioning, and whatever conditioning that is, we're all different. I'm talking about brothers and sisters, but again, like I say, this for the sisters. However long the conditioning we have been under, or whatever we believe for a long time, I think that's about the amount of time it takes to come up out of it. So that's not it for everybody. That's just my opinion. And it's like the more we've been through, the tougher we are, the more aware we become, the more empathic we become too. And we do learn how to balance the thing, to balance the new way of thinking, and how you stop, believing things you used to believe, re-educate yourself. And that's, like I say, that's a weird and strange process when you have to re-educate yourself and unlearn things that we are so used to believing in. And it's a weird place to be. It's a weird transformation, as I said, but it can be an amazing transformation, my sisters. And again, just look at this banner, look at this sister. And again, this is a representation of what I see in sisters that I have come in contact with in the past and stuff like that. My cocoa butter, I'm with now. I see the beauty in her, and I tell her she's beautiful. Our sisters need to hear that. I mean, like really beautiful, not saying beautiful, but in our mind, we're like, yeah, ooh, I mean, they need to know that they're beautiful, because some of our sisters do go through a lot and been through a lot and going through a lot, And again, it's not everything is our sister's fault. It's this system. We should know this, And that was my thought, and I just was feeling this in my spirit. A divine download, and I think we should share it when that divine speaks to us. I think we have those moments when we shut up and don't say nothing and chill and learn. Then we have those moments where we speak and share. And this is something that I want to share to my sisters. Man, if you learn nothing else from me on this channel, please know your true God self and know how beautiful you are and can be. And our young sisters and so on and so forth. You know, our aunties, cousins, nieces, you know, grandbabies, elders, you know your true God self, my sisters. And I'm telling you, nothing will be able to stop you. Nothing will be able to break you. You know, study on it every day, you know. Anticipation mode, as I like to say, you know, not paranoid, just staying aware and staying on top of things, because you create life. Nothing can hold a candle to you. Know this. So that's my thought. And I thank those that have been listening. And this was strictly for my sisters, far and near. You know, may that great divine bliss or bless you in your life. And I honor my family. I honor your family. I honor my children. I honor their mothers, brothers and sisters, especially my sisters all over the world. May you please keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are, my sisters. Know your beauty within. Fight for your beauty. Let nothing take away your beauty. Something that great divine gave you. Did nobody else give you that beauty? And don't go fuck it up and alter your body and all that shit. Because once you do that, you have lost your God self. Real talk. Because now you just stepped into the artificial. So don't live in the woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So that's why we tap into our God, your God self, my sister. Salute.